As all of you are aware that the Consumer Protection Act has led to the establishment of an alternative disputes redressal mechanism for consumers. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the grievance redressal process from filing a complaint to the relief which is granted to a consumer. This is Dr. Mariam Narona walking you through the steps. So we'll just take a very quick overview first. What are the steps in grievance redressal? First is a preparation of the complaint, actually writing it down, filing the complaint and submitting it along with the fees which is applicable, receipt of the complaint at the relevant consumer disputes redressal forum, and admission of the complaint if merit is found in it or it will be dismissed. Notice to the opposite party. If the party refutes it, then a dispute arises, and further, probably if required, laboratory tests will be conducted, the reports will come in, there will be a hearing of both parties, and at the end of that, some decision will be given whereby relief would be granted to the affected consumer. Firstly, the process begins when a consumer experiences some sort of defect in the goods which he or she has purchased or has consumed, or experiences some deficiency in services which he or she has consumed or paid for, and this gives rise to the cause for complaint. So the first step in predecessor to filing a complaint is the cause should arise. There should be some defect in goods or some deficiency in services which the consumer has been put to a loss because of that or is adversely affected because of that. Now, very important, who can file a complaint? So, an aggrieved consumer himself or herself, someone who has actually bought the goods or paid for them. A recognized consumer association may file a complaint on behalf of a consumer or a group of consumers. One or more consumers together who are adversely affected by the same defect or deficiency may join hands and collectively file a complaint, or the central or state government on behalf of a consumer or a group of consumers or in its own capacity as a consumer can file a complaint. Now the complaint according to the new act can be filed online also. But if you are physically submitting the complaint, first and foremost, you don't even need a lawyer. If you so choose to have a lawyer, you may have one, but you don't need a lawyer. You can plead your own case in the consumer forum. And the format of the complaint is such that it should have all the details relating to the matter on hand. It can be written even on a plain piece of paper. It need not be typed. It can be handwritten also if you are submitting a physical copy. So it should comprise of name and complete address of the complainant, that is the aggrieved person, the name and complete address of the opposite party, the person who has put the consumer to loss, background of the complaint, that is how did that complaint occur, when did you buy the item, when did you order it, how did you receive it, things like that. What is the defect or deficiency, defect in goods, deficiency services, what are the efforts made by the complainant to sort out the grievance. Okay, those steps have also to be outlined. That is, the complainant should have taken some steps to go and express further relating to the cause for complaint to the opposite party. If he or she has taken those efforts, that those should be mentioned. Whether the consumer has approached any other forum or civil court, that should be mentioned. proof documentation in support of the complaint, photos, wrapper, whatever you may feel will support the complaint. Jurisdiction. What is the jurisdiction of your complaint, whether it comes at district level, state level, or national level, and in which city. Then limitation, if there is anything which you feel might prove to be a limitation as far as your complaint is concerned. What is the relief that you are claiming? That is, you want replacement, you want damages, you want both. And finally, place and date of along with the signature. There is a time limit for filing a complaint. It should be filed within 2 years from the date on which the cause for complaint has arisen, and but it's not as if it is not filed within 2 years, it may not be admitted. If the complainant can satisfactorily show the forum that he had sufficient cause for his inability to file a complaint in 2 years' time, then it may be admitted. So once a complaint is ready along with the supporting documents, it must be filed at the relevant forum along with the fees and supporting documentation. It may be admitted if there is merit in the complaint, and some frivolous complaint or complaints may be dismissed by the forum. They may not even admit it. Once a complaint is admitted, notice will be given to the opposite party named in the complaint. The opposite party is required to reply within 30 days from the date on which the notice is issued to him. An extended period of 15 days may be allowed for the opposite party to respond to the complaint. Now, a consumer dispute actually arises when the allegations are denied by the opposite party. So, if the opposite party receives a notice from the forum with regard to the complaint made by the consumer, and if the opposite party denies those allegations, then a dispute arises. If they accept it and they remedy the situation, then the matter ends there. But if they don't, then the dispute arises. In some cases, laboratory reports may be required. Some testing of the product would have to be carried out, and for this also the fees would have to be paid by the consumer. The findings of these reports would have to be shared with the opposite party also, and any objections to such findings would have to be dealt with. So it also involves hearing, just like since it's alternative dispute redressal mechanism, both parties will be given an equal opportunity to present their case. So the forum will hear the matter, and there is a time limit for decision making by the forum, which is 3 months from the date of receipt of notice by opposite party where laboratory tests are not required, and 5 months where laboratory tests are required. Now this is done with the aim of expediting the system of dispensing justice and finishing off matters, settling them instead of keeping them hanging on for years together. The forum has certain powers. The Consumer Dispute Forum has certain powers to summon or enforce the attendance of the parties involved in the case or witnesses, production of documents. They may demand material objects as and how required relevant to the case, any evidence on affidavits filed by the parties, requisitioning the report of lab test and analysis in case of laboratory tests, examination of witness, and any other matter as may be prescribed. Now, what is the relief available to consumers who approach the consumer forum? Removal of defect in the goods or deficiency in services, replacement with a new item, compensation for any loss or injury suffered by the consumer, punitive damages to prevent such instances from occurring in future, return of goods wherever possible, discontinuance of an unfair trade practice if the subject matter of the complaint is an unfair trade practice, ordering the party not to offer hazardous goods for sales, ordering them to withdraw hazardous goods from sale, and asking them to stop the manufacture of hazardous goods. All these different types of relief may be available to the consumer together with costs which they may have incurred. Now, what are the damages that are awarded in a consumer dispute? Adequate costs to concerned parties, whatever costs that the consumer may have incurred for filing the case, and the time and effort spent in that, for that some costs may be awarded. To issue corrective advertisement to neutralize the effect of a misleading advertisement which has been given by a manufacturer or retailer or seller, and to pay a sum of not less than 5% for the value of goods or services where loss or injury has been suffered by a large number of consumers. So by and large, these are the damages which are awarded. So thank you for listening. I hope you find this video useful, and please don't forget to read the relevant section of the chapter which goes along with each video, and please don't forget to leave your comments and feedback. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you like the educational content shared here. Thank you. This is Dr. Mariam Narona.